Wait, do you wear glasses?
Not normally. I'm just having some. I think I got some sand in my eye, so I kept wearing them.
Aha! A clue. Bam! We're live. Some sand in your eye. You're at the beach. You've been deployed in Miami the entire time.
Yep, it's been a pretty dope spot to deploy.
We figured you out. The way you just poured whatever you just poured, it looked like you had just done a little grinder with some weed. And you were just pouring it.
There's plenty of that around too.
We had a guy named Mikkel, who is the founder of the most popular game in the country of Denmark, Clask, which I own both versions of, which is actually quite a fun game. My power went out a few days ago, and the whole family played Clask at New Year's Eve. And then we had that guy on who writes a book. Oh, he's gone. Then we had that guy on, or before that, we had a guy on who wrote a book like every week. Do you remember that guy? He wrote like My Big Black Hawk.
Yeah.
And that was pretty cool. And I think we've had on some other. I'm trying to remember who else we've had on, but I like this entrepreneurial. It's PR entrepreneurial. Entrepreneurial. Someone spelled entrepreneurial class of guests. And in a way, Patrick Bet David was his own entrepreneurial. Per or per? Is it PR or P? God damn it.
I think it's PRE.
I've been saying God damn it a lot. I think I need to go back into it's PR, entrepreneurial. It's entrepreneurial class of guests. Thank you. Entrepreneur, like Roe. So the guy who invented the boards, the author. Now we have Roe Dunkelman. Crazy.
How's it going?
What's up?
Did I jump in a bit early here?
No, never.
Okay.
No.
Good.
My door's always open. You just walk in. If you catch me naked, it is what it is. I'll run in to my bedroom.
Just zoom in.
Yeah, just zoom in. Just hold your breath.
It's Roey, by the way.
Roey.
Yeah. Okay, it's like Joey with an R.
I've never met a Roey.
It's I guess first of its kind for you, but yeah, it's Israeli.
Have you ever met a Roey besides yourself?
Yes.
Have you been to Israel?
Yes, my dad's from there.
And so is that pretty common name there, Roey?
I don't think it's like a Josh, but it could be like a. I don't know. I'll try to think of something that's comparable.
My name's Sevan, and it's a lake in Armenia. And when I went to Armenia, the people there looked at me like, "Hey, no one names their kid after the lake."
Yeah.
What did your parents do?
Yeah. I know. The foreign names are tough, but we're here.
Just to appease my ego, how many people have ever gotten it right and say Roey instead of Roe?
Upon first glance, most people go with Roe. If you're taking it back to like
non-Israelis, by the way, that's cheating. I mean, just like regular ding-dongs like me.
Yeah. So most people do go with Roe. Me personally, I see it. If we're throwing it back to like elementary school conventions of like two E's next to each other.
I'm getting schooled here.
I would hope that, you could infer how to pronounce it, but there's no worries there. That's okay. We're learning lessons today.
Caleb, did he just say if you paid attention in the second grade, you would never fuck my name up?
I think that's what I heard too.
Something like that.
We're off to a wrong foot. Didn't you read the pamphlet? How to get on a podcast? Always placate the host ego. Damn it!
Is that? No, I must have skipped that chapter. I too must have been dozing off in school.
Second grade podcast class.
Yes. You weren't paying attention during podcast class, Roey.
Yeah, well, I would have been on the cusp where I just would have missed the podcast class, but I would be surprised if that's soon to be an elective.
Yeah, right. Especially in Canada. Sorry, couldn't help it.
Especially, yeah. No,
where are you in Canada? You're in Ontario?
Yeah, Toronto.
I'm 50, Roey, and I still sometimes get like nervous, like that my mom's listening. And like this podcast that I've been doing for 2 years now is kind of an exploration of just accidental shit that falls out of my mouth. And
Right.
and I get a little like, I'm like, oh man, how do people become comedians at 25, knowing that, like, don't they feel that pressure from their parents to still like, so you invent this board that's the ckuterie board. Maybe I'm getting ahead of myself, but I really want to know how the first time you said that. Your parents aren't like professional comedians or anything, right? I'm guessing you're
No.
Jewish. They're like, you have a psychologist and you have a psychologist and a lawyer. They're both academics. Am I close?
Both academics, not psychologists and lawyer. My mom's a social worker at a hospital.
I'm giving myself a point for that. Psychologist, social worker. I'm giving myself a point.
No, that those are the same camps.
Thank you.
And my dad is he's a graphic designer, but he's been teaching at the it's called the Ontario College of Art and Design for like the last like 35 plus years. He recently retired last year, but he's a like a private designer, and then also has taught graphic design for like the bulk of his career.
And so, wow, he's probably seen there's been crazy changes in that field. Crazy. In terms of tools, right?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like, just the whole transition from like just everything analog to like now everything's Adobe Suite. So that kind of idea.
Yeah, just straight Adobe. Crazy.
Yeah.
Just printing cash over there. Sign up for your subscription.
Pretty much, yeah.
And how do you break the board to them? Is it easy? How old are you?
I will be 27 in April, and I started this when I was 25. Okay.
So you have this idea. We'll get to the idea if you don't mind. Eventually, we'll backtrack. But I'm just curious, like for my own personal, since I'm 50 and I still haven't mastered the art of being myself around my parents. How, it's like coming out and being gay, but it's hard. I think it's even harder to release the ckuterie board. I'm gay. Are you really? No, I just want to see how you react because I got this other crazy idea of this cutting board shaped like a cock and balls.
So I kept this a secret for a very long time.
Oh, good.
As long as possible. Like I was tinkering in the basement, like with the prototype, like initially. So I asked my dad one time to pick me up just like some foam core, like a foam board from the dollar store on the way home. And mind you, I was like 25 when I asked him for this. So like, he had every reason to ask me what I could possibly need it for, but like, God bless him. He just answered the call, didn't ask any questions. He goes, here's your stuff, like enjoy your arts and crafts, and didn't follow up. And then I take it to the basement. And I took like different pots and pans, like smaller ones, big ones, to like experiment with the circumference for like what the testicles would be.
And just like try to draw the circle for the balls,
for the nuts. Yeah. So that's how I started. And then I started sketching it out, relatively familiar with the shape, and had different sizes. And then they were just like pieces of jaggedy cut out foam board in the shape of dicks. And I'm like, should the shaft be skinny or fat, or should it be longer? Like, how does everything work? Once I narrowed it down, mind you, like it wasn't like a huge process. Like I had like maybe 6 cutouts with a few inches shaved here and there. And I'm like, yeah, like I feel like if this was a board, this would look good. And then I started reaching out to local manufacturers, and I probably hit up about like 70.
And your parents still don't know you have this experimental ckuterie going on in the basement. Is that normal to have basements in Toronto?
Yeah.
Okay. We don't have them. So. I'm in California. We don't have those.
Yeah, none. Is it just a bungalow style?
I guess it's just cheap, shitty homes that are expensive.
Where in California? Santa
Cruz.
Okay, very cool. I was I went to California for my first time in 2019, and I loved it.
Oh, those boards would be so popular here.
Yeah, I mean, actually, like the U.S. is we'll get into this, I'm sure, but the U.S. is my biggest market far and away, and California is very loyal customers there. I think I probably ship the most out there.
Yeah, the liberal people love cock and balls and vaginas. They like to parade them around, put them on elementary schools and all sorts of shit. So ckuterie is no stretch. So when you're doing those shapes, I know we're going to get to the parent thing, but I guess it also has to be practical, right? Like you're like, okay, this might not be to ratio thickness or the circumference of the penis, but it also has to hold. It has to be functional to like bring out the cheese and crackers.
Yeah. I mean, like, it would be like in terms of like thickness and like durability, like in the ballpark of what your typical cutting board would be. So I think cutting boards usually run like an inch thick, maybe inch and a half. These are 3/4 of an inch, so they're more like they more resemble like a platter.
Okay.
So anyways, I started reaching out to manufacturers. I didn't hear from most of them. The ones that I did hear back from were like not interested. So like initially that was like my first series of no's. I thought like maybe someone would give me a look, but eventually I started just like trying to leverage the little network I had in the woodworking community. And it was someone that referred me, a few rungs through the grapevine. And I ended up finding a manufacturer in a town called Kingston, Ontario, which is about like 2.5, 3 hours. Is it east? I think east of Toronto.
Roey,
Yeah.
can I don't want to forget this question. Sorry, I'm going to interrupt a lot. It's what I do.
Yeah, go ahead.
When you get the nose, is it because have they seen the shape of the board? Is there any, are the nose?
Yeah.
It is because of that. It's not, hey, we don't do charcuterie boards.
Good question. I think like okay, I'll say this. In the introductory email, like I didn't shy away from anything. I'm like, hey, this is my idea. Here's the sketch. Here are the dimensions I'm thinking. Just to like package it up in one shot. And like again, I didn't hear from a lot of them. A bunch of them were like, no, we don't do this type of stuff. And then sometimes like there was someone who was like, I don't feel comfortable doing this. And then I tried to like level with them. I'm like, this is just this shape. It's kind of irrelevant. Like I'm trying to develop a business. And then, and then like, I said for like, that was my one like time I did some like pushback, but I also told myself from the beginning, like, I think this is a funny idea. I know it's going to be polarizing. There's going to be people that get it. Think it's funny.
There's people who hate penis out there.
And there's people who's going to be like, this is dumb. I'm not engaging in this. And like, I'm not trying to make a believer out of anyone. Like,
right.
It's like, it's polarizing. You either love it or you hate it. And for those that hate it, that's fine. So I'm not trying to like make a believer to convince anyone this is funny. Right. I get it. So anyhow, I get referred to this guy in Kingston. So it's like a town, 2 hours away from Toronto. And he was like, yeah, we could do it. And like, so yeah, there you go.
Nice lake people, still lake people.
Yeah, exactly. He's like, yeah, we could do it. Like, he gave me like, yeah, this would roughly be like, I'd have to, do some prototype. Oh, sorry. I gapped one crucial step. When I was reaching to that initial batch of 75 that were like more local, some guy like thought it was hilarious, loved it, and was like, I can't make it for you, but I can at least give you a prototype and I can improve the design. Because the initial design was just like a very like cartoony one. And he's like, do you mind if I like make it more anatomically correct? I'm like, yeah, for sure, go for it. So, and then he made me 2 prototypes out of material called MDF. Don't know what it stands for, but it's kind of like compressed like paper. And it's very cheap and like pretty much resembles like what the sturdiness would be of like, your given species of wood. So then I had the physical, like I actually held it like proper dimensions. And that's when I could like really visualize if this thing had legs. So I took those files. He gave me a file. It was like a universal file. So that's what I was sending it out to all these manufacturers. So anyways, this Kingston guy's like, yeah, I can do it. I can either like make them completely done, ready to sell, like sanded, treated with food safe oil, all that stuff. Or I can give it to you like rough, and then like you can absorb some of the labor. Obviously, I was like just getting this off the ground. I had the time. So I'm like, you know what? I want to keep my costs low. I'll do as much labor as reasonable, which is like some light sanding, cleaning up the edges, and oiling these things. So I started there. I started with like 50 boards. And then I got them. I sanded them. I oiled them. I engraved them. I bought like a hobby kind of level tabletop engraver. So I can put my logo on it and then offer custom engravings, which like I have on the site. Now I have 2, but initially it was just the one. And then my dad.
I mean, two locations in the center, or like up on the scrotum.
No, I could do any location. I meant two physical engravers because just like one was a huge one was a huge bottleneck once like I kind of started moving these things. But anyway, so my dad obviously has a very good network in the like design space. So he had a photographer buddy who came by and snapped some like unbelievable photos to get some like assets for the site and for social. So I spun up the site. Like I did like I'd say like 95% of it. I'm on Shopify. Like I just like, just slaved over this stuff for like months and months and months. And then for some of the technical stuff, I just like hired some people at Fiverr. But like most of it was myself. And then did like a pre-launch on social media. And I was like really, really fortunate to have like a pretty good launch. It's pretty successful. Like got a good following, got like my first ever post was a giveaway post. And I think it got like 1,000 comments or something.
Wow.
It was very successful. So
when did you come out of the basement? When did you tell your parents?
Oh yeah. So it was after the prototypes, like the MDF boards, like I had like the physical board. And I think it was just time where like I was tinkering for long enough where I'm like, I got to make some like significant moves. And
were your parents were you just living at home and your parents like, hey, you need to get a job? What are you doing? And you're just like, I'm working on something.
I had a job at the time. So I don't know how much detail you require, but I'll make this short. So there's a company that I was working for at the time called Clear Bank. They're now Clear Co. So we have a Canadian version of Shark Tank called Dragon's Den. And one of the dragons was this co-founder of the company I worked for. And the premise is non-dilutive capital, specifically for D2C brands. So kind of like
D2C is
direct to consumer.
Okay.
Yeah. So it kind of like subconsciously like paved the way for me to, and that's when I got this idea. And, I was speaking to these D2C founders day in, day out and like listening to their struggles and all this. And I'm just like, I could probably do this. And like when I got the idea, I actually like was like, A, this is dumb. B, it probably already exists. And it did already exist. But I just saw like their social media and kind of where they were lacking. And I'm like, if this was my company, that I would think I could do a significantly better job. So I'm like, you know what, let's roll the dice on 50. So anyways, I did have a job. And when I got the idea, so this was like a side thing. And then
so
eventually
your parents weren't tripping. Like you were just sitting in the basement smoking weed, like fiddling with wood. You had already,
I wasn't there yet. I wasn't even there yet. Because I just had like the 2 prototypes and I was just like, okay, the time is now. I have the prototypes. I have my manufacturer. He's ready to go. He's waiting on me. Like I just couldn't, if I wanted to actually take the plunge, then it would have to be known, right? I'd be, having like 50 boards in the basement. I'd be sanding these, like it had to be known. So I couldn't go on much further. So I just had to sit them down after dinner. And I think my opening line was, so I have to tell you something. I don't think you're going to like it. And then just like let that sink in. And then I just like pulled out the prototype from like behind the wall.
How much better was it that you set it up like that? Because they're like, he has AIDS or
like
he got a girl pregnant. And instead it's just a dick board.
Yeah. I think that was like somewhat strategic. Like let their minds go to the worst possible place and like, oh, he's going to be an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
There's worse things that could happen. So I thought, so like my dad's like Israeli dude, conservative, like whatever. And I approve.
I
thought he was going to be the most resistant. And my mom like is like, we have the type of relationship where even if she like disapproved, like I was way more concerned about what my dad thought. So
your mom would support you. You're a boy.
Yeah.
Even if whatever.
Exactly. So it was very much like that. And they're surprisingly like the any sort of resistance or reservation like quickly went away. They're like, you know what? I actually see it. I get it. And I don't think it's the worst idea you've ever had. And sure, go for it. So that was a huge relief because that was obviously like a big moment that I was blowing up in my head, thought it was going to be like this whole fight and this whole eruption and all this pushback. But no, they were super supportive and still are very supportive. And then my dad.
And this was 2 years ago, right, Roey?
Yeah. So I released, like, my website went live September 15th of 2021. And
Okay.
then I would say like roughly like 9 months prior to that is when like I got the idea. I started prototyping. So like I was working on it for quite a bit, just making sure like all systems were a go for the release and the launch and all that. Yeah. So
Hey, do you remember the first time? I want to show you something real quick. I don't even
yeah,
know if any of my listeners know this. I was growing I didn't even smoke weed at the time, but my friend was vaping. Like
okay,
not like vaping like the way kids do it today, but like that used
yeah,
to be this.
vaping weed, yeah,
Yeah, and he
yeah,
had this big pile of weed at his house. And I went over there and I'm like, hey, dude, why is there just a big pile of weed sitting down? He's all, I've already smoked it. I'm like, you already smoked it? And
yeah.
he's like, yeah, I vaped it. And so I'm digging through and I found a seed.
Oh, okay.
And he's like, hey, you can't grow that. I'm like, okay, fine. Then can I have it? He's like, yeah. So I grew it in a closet. And I took at the time I didn't plan on doing anything, but step by step I took pictures every single day and wrote down everything I did. And then I glued all the pictures to pieces of cardboard. And I made this book out of cardboard and like those big steel metal rings.
Okay,
And I
yeah,
called and I called it this. And then finally one day I was reading in the newspaper that the largest publisher of marijuana books in the world was in my neighborhood in Oakland, California. So I just took them over this cardboard book and I'm like, hey, do you want to? And they picked it up and now I have this book, Marijuana Buds for Less. I mean, this is like 15 or I don't know how long ago I made this. I hadn't thought about this in years until just now talking to you. But when I told my parents about this, I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
And then I wrote a follow-up book, Let's Grow a Pound. But it brings me to my next question. I remember, and I didn't even use my real name. Look at the name I used, Seymour Buds.
Nice.
Yeah, just a fake author name.
Yeah.
Get your copy now, people. Anyway,
that's hilarious.
Did you know that about me, Caleb?
Yeah, I think, yeah. I didn't know that. Okay. It has been a few years since you told that story, though. So.
Oh, it has? Okay, good. All right, thank you. Yes, I am Jeffrey Birchfield. He's a beacon of diversity and inclusion with numerous types of guests he has on. Yeah, from the KKK to a nice Jewish boy making ckuterie. We're all one on planet Earth. It's hard to remember that. Do you remember the first time you heard your parents tell, like, they're on the phone with your aunt and they're like, yeah, we're so excited. Roe's started a business. Because I remember when my parents would, like, I'd just overhear them be like, yeah, Sevan has a book. I'm like, holy shit, they really do love it. You know what I mean?
You know what? They were and still are very quick to gloat.
Oh, good. About your ckuterie boards.
Yes. Yeah.
God, I love parents.
Yeah. They're
very
very supportive, very proud. Like, I've done a handful of like those pop-up markets and whatever, and they're riding it with me. Like, they're like 3-day events, morning till night, and we're lugging stuff, and they're in it with me. They're in the trenches with me. So,
like your dad's there setting up like your canopy with you, and your mom's bringing you coffee
all
and
of
shit.
It.
Oh God, I love
all of it. Yeah, all of it. Yeah. No, they're. You know what? Like once you can come to terms with the shape. And this is something that, like, I think people also, at first glance, like, they probably discount it. And this is my favorite part, right? Like, people probably don't give it the credit that I think it should deserve because, like, I've grown it pretty substantially, and which is fine. So my favorite part that people think it's kind of like a, like a here and there kind of thing. But, like, this is my full-time job, and, like, I've experienced, like, some pretty good growth in, like, the 16 months that I've been doing it. And it still has, like, despite the shape, it has all the growing pains of a regular business, which people probably don't give it credit for because they think it's like, it's like a gimmick, it's a gag thing. How many of these could you really be moving? But, like I tell you, like, it's really tough as it's my first time doing this. I'm completely by myself. So it's really tough. Like when you have these like significant business decisions and all this reinvesting and this budget and cash flow, and you have to reinvest it properly and wisely. And like it's a business. It has its pain points and growing pains, like just like any other business. So which people probably don't recognize immediately. So that's kind of, I always find interesting, but back to like what you were saying. Yeah, parents huge support, quick to gloat all the time. Like when they have friends over, they want to like entertain on one. They're always looking for opportunities to use it. So yeah, they're my biggest cheerleaders.
I love it. I love it. Hey, it could be worse. You could marry an Armenian girl.
Could be worse.
Yeah, you could marry one of the Kardashians. I'm Armenian, and my wife is Jewish. And there's, your parents go through these phases where they're like, we want you to marry an Armenian, we want you to marry a Jew, and then you reach a certain age, and they're like, they don't give a fuck. They just want you to get married. Yeah, just get married. And then it's like, have kids, please have kids.
Right.
A titty or vag board next. There is a booby board.
There is, yeah, new release. So I get a lot of flack for this because people are like, it should have been charcuterie. Like, it's right there, writing is on the wall. I get it. I personally find, like, despite the kind of field I find myself in, the world I find myself in, I find titty a little crass.
I agree.
Like,
yeah, I agree.
Booby's more playful.
Yes.
A little more inclusive, a little more fun. So that's what I've decided on. The biggest request far and away is a charcuterie board.
Oh.
And that comes with its complications, just given kind of the intricacies of the region.
Yeah.
But look, it's certainly on deck. I mean,
it's got a Shar-Pei. It's got the vagina is kind of like a Shar-Pei. It's not conducive to the medium of wood. Well, it's gonna.
Yes, yeah, because cock is silhouette, but
yeah,
the vagina is all about the detail.
Silhouette.
Yeah.
I like
so, but it's doable.
I mean, you could be staring straight at a vagina and not know what it is.
That's usually the position I find myself in.
Yeah, exactly. Me too. What is that? What happened to you down there? Are you okay?
Yeah.
All that stuff. How it's funny because I was thinking also of like you can't remember the last time you've gone a day without saying the word cock.
Yeah, it's pretty all consuming. Yeah, it's all day, every day. It's like full commitment, full priority, all that.
What about is it all, tell me, like we were talking about all the problems like a business has. So let me just take a stab at something. Have you changed? How did you decide what kind? Is there a standard wood people use for like I guess kitchen grade wood that's and have you had problems with supply chain? And like tell me some of the things that are just like, holy shit, I would have never or you have to buy like 12,000 trees to get started. You're like, dude, all I want is 100 boards. Yeah. What are some of the issues?
So this is the thing. I'm always kind of like subconsciously preparing myself for shit to hit the fan because like it's been a relatively smooth sailing attempt at this. Like, yeah, I've had my moments, don't get me wrong, but like it's not like my basement flooded and all my inventory is just shit. Like it hasn't, like I haven't had anything like truly crippling.
Like all your boards got caught off the coast of Oakland during the pandemic. And like you couldn't nothing
like all
like
that shit. Yeah. Like I know there was a time where I think it was like just when I was getting started, like there was all this talk about like wood prices are like, 3x what they used to be. So like that was kind of like like obviously I decided to start this like right at like the time where wood is the most expensive it's ever been. Like that was like, but again, that's not a deterrent. It was just like true, and you just move on. But
did wood prices ever come down? Did they ever come down? They didn't, right?
No.
Because like 4x8 pieces of like plywood around here went from like $20 to like $100. It was crazy.
Yeah, I think I think I was at the moment when I started producing. I was like already in the. It was already when wood was on the upswing, so I didn't have like a stark before and after.
Right.
So I can't really speak much to that. But like when you ask like what are the growing pains of like the business that I'm experiencing, it's truthfully just like knowing what to do with the money, knowing what my next move is. I mean, so the first 12 months of sales was completely organic. So it was like all through TikTok. And truth be told, like TikTok and the ability to make content was, I think like the number one motivator for me is because like that's like my favorite part of the business, like the content and like immediately when this thought came to mind, I'm like, think about all the funny content I could put out. Like TikTok is still very much a juggernaut, but this was like right when TikTok was kind of surging. So TikTok, like the rise of TikTok, I credit a lot to the reason why I actually took the plunge in the first place. So like, and social media is still like my biggest like mobilizer of sales for sure. And
I mean, it's how I found you.
Yeah. I mean, like social media, it's also like, you know, a viral video is great for so many reasons. Like the sales follow, which is great, but I get like inundated with so much support and feedback. Like people are always in my DMs, like, love this, hilarious, blah, blah, blah. And then I also get like a lot of good business contacts. Like I was in a local blog in Toronto, like not this Christmas, the Christmas before, and it's like sold out my stock. And then one of my now suppliers got in touch with me, like, hey, saw what you're doing. I think I could help, blah, blah, blah. And he ended up being my supplier for like the following year plus, like till now, and, you know, moving forward. So I made like some pretty good business contacts just through this sheer exposure on social media, blogs, you know, online, all that kind of stuff. And people overseas are getting in touch with me, like, you have to bring this to Europe. Like I can help you warehouse them and store them and ship them and distribute them.
That
like,
are you selling in Europe?
I know, like European market would be all over this. I mean, like
Yeah, they love cock over there. I have to. Yeah,
they're very cock forward people.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it's not there yet.
So I mean, like I'll say that I offer international shipping.
Okay.
So if someone in Europe gets a hold of this and wants one, I give them the means to receive it. But I haven't like made the European market like a priority to like try and go after like deliberately.
What and all this? Have you learned a lot about wood? Like I know guys who get into golfing, like all of a sudden know a shit ton about grass.
Yeah. I did work on a golf course, so I can't speak to the grass because that's like savant level stuff. But I understand a little bit. Like I'm very involved in the production of it. Like I'm sanding these things, I'm oiling them, so I can have like a reasonable conversation. But I'm not no expert. I'm not a woodworker. You know, like
what is the wood you use?
So it's Canadian maple. Specifically wormy maple or ambrosia maple, and kind of like the fun fact surrounding that is so that you'll notice like there's streaks like in the board, and some of them, you know, are more textured than others. That's because there's like a bug called the ambrosia beetle that burrows through the wood, and the path that it creates is the streaks that you see.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so that's why it's like all funky, different shapes, different tones, different textures. Yeah, there you go. And people love it. People like it's so pretty, especially like when you hit it with the oil. It just makes everything pop. And yeah, like people really like it. And like I have this little disclaimer on site that's like, you know, no one cock is alike, and you know, that's kind of like the whole leveraging point. But like no, like, you know, I could foresee a scenario, which I was worried that like people would see one board on site, get their board, and be like, this looks nothing like it. But because they're all different. But no, people like I haven't had like one complaint about like this isn't what it looks like on site kind of thing. So that's unfortunate.
Yeah, they're cool. They're cool. They look nice.
Yeah, they're beautiful, honestly. Like and like because it's all a testament to the wood. The wood is fucking gorgeous. Like it's just so nice. And again, this was like that first manufacturer in Kingston. I pitched him. It was more of like that call. Yeah, like it's stunning. But like that call, the initial call was as much a consultation as it was like a pre-PO call, in the sense where like I'm like, hey man, like I got referred to you by whatever. This is my idea. Like, what do you think? And he started like participating in helping me bring this to life, which like it was great. And he's like, well, I think this would, because it's economical. It's, you know, it's food safe, and it's pretty, and like this, that, the other. And so once he said wormy maple and he gave me the prices, I was like, okay, sick. I saw no reason to source someone else out, find a different species, compare, contrast. Because like I'm also someone where like if I have too many options or I like dig too deep, I just get like paralysis. Like as soon as I see an option and it's viable, I'm just going. Like even with
me too.
Even with the booby board, like my dad was like wanted to really, really refine the shape. I'm like, you know what? If I refine, like I know I just won't get this thing going. And like, look, it's again, it's
wait till you go buy a house. Do you own a house?
I do not.
Yeah, don't go house shopping.
Yeah,
because every house was like the perfect house, and my wife's like, you shut up. I'm like, what? This is the one.
Yeah, well, I hear that you never get your first house, and it's like the blessing in disguise kind of idea.
Yeah.
But yeah, like my sister went through that like during the pandemic, and didn't get their first. Oh no, they did get their first house actually. What did
your dad want to do different to the boobs?
He wanted to like. He wanted to do like a perspective one shot. So like instead of like staring at straight on, it's like a little bit like this maybe, and have like more of a silhouette.
Yeah.
But again, it's again similar to the vagina. It's not a silhouette. Like the wood is not maybe the best medium to resemble what it is.
Right.
So I'm constantly refining. I just wanted to get something on site because I was getting a lot of comments and feedback being like, hey, like the lesbians of TikTok want to play too. And I was like, that was an awakening moment. I was like, you know what? They're onto something.
I was thinking that the boards would be really popular with the gay community. I was actually just realizing this the other day, that the importance of women that the gay community doesn't have is like, guys left unattended will just run wild with sex shit. Like you need girls who are like, hey, go invent a light bulb and dig a hole in the backyard and then come back and we'll discuss what you can do with my vagina. But dudes, you leave them alone too long and they'll start like wanting a cutting board in the shape of a penis.
Pretty much. So yeah, I mean, it's definitely like a big market of ours. And even sometimes like, so when I offer these engravings, it's a little bush league right now, but it's been fine. What I do is I just I overlay a grid on the board, and I just do coordinates. So I do A through whatever vertically, and then 1 through like 24 horizontally. And people will just be like, yeah, like G7 to 19, and I know that they want it like dead center along the shaft. So like most people can make sense of this and give me pretty accurate coordinates.
I think that's cool as shit. That's not bush league. That's awesome.
I don't know. So what I would like to do, which I'm like starting to look into now, is like how if you're on something like Canva, where you can like live design, and then you can see your like if you're designing a T-shirt, whereas like you punch in like Sevan's cock, and then you can like orient it wherever you want, and it shows up on the board, and then you just like say like submit. So I mean, I've done, I don't know, maybe 1,000 engravings by now, and I'm pretty anal with like making sure it's perfectly straight and all this stuff. So like that's, I think, another reason why people have yet to complain, because I like make sure it's good, or like it's as close to where they want it as possible. But like sometimes they put something that makes like no sense, and so I have to like clarify, and then I'll occasionally be like I'll call them or I'll text them and be like, yeah, this is for, it's like, it's clearly a male, and it's like, yeah, this is for my husband, or this is for my boyfriend, or this, that, the other. So like, there's certainly like, the gay market is big for us. And also the first show I did, I was mentioning the shows, the first one I did was the Pride Parade in Toronto. And that was just, that was a real, that was a good showing. It was good. People were blown away. They loved it. And yeah, it was great. It was really good.
I just remembered another entrepreneur we had on. We had the Slack block guy on. Do you remember that, Caleb?
Yeah.
The guy.
Yeah,
do you know what the Slack block is, Rowie?
I don't.
It's like it's a piece of foam with a piece of wood on it, and you stand on it and you balance on it. And it's to work on balance. Basically, this guy's theory is that you can't swing a bat or punch someone or do any activity harder than your balance will allow you. And so it's basically like a portable slack line, but instead it's this foam block.
Oh, cool. Oh, so it teeters.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Yeah. And actually, I actually use it at least every other day, and I can't believe how different my balance has gotten. It's pretty cool.
Really,
But he had this. I got this impression from him that he had this paranoia that he didn't want to share his idea, and I don't get that from you. Like, I would hear that a lot from maybe a lot of inventors. So you sent your idea to 50 or 75 people and got it rejected, but you didn't seem to be afraid someone would steal the idea from you.
So I think it's twofold. One is like, it's one of those, like, it's so absurd that it probably limits the amount of it limits the chance that people are like think it's as inspiring as like anything else. Like, it's such an absurdity. Like, even if someone's like, they're probably like, no, it's a dumb idea. It's like one of those. So I think that I had going for me. But I also was like, I spoke to my dad. Designed the packaging for the. I don't know. I think this. Have you heard of the Salka brush?
No.
So, anyways, it's my dad's friend client. He designed like the packaging for it. Essentially, it's like the new age of flossing. It's like kind of the size of like a highlighter, and it has like I don't know what the material is. I think like a nylon tip, and it's like to massage your gums. And
you use it? I love flossing.
I floss, so I don't use it.
Okay.
But it's kind of like
brush.
it's kind of like the lazy person's floss. I don't know if that's actually how you would prefer me to refer to it as, but it's
I see it. I see a Salka brush. Okay.
Yeah. So my dad was on the packaging with him. When I was getting off the ground, I was like, let me tap my very limited network. And I mean, mind you, he's like been a very successful entrepreneur. His plant is like 2 seconds from our house. So I went to speak to him and whatever. And he's like, he's been knocked off every which way. As you can see the product, like it's easy to replicate. And he's like, the biggest thing you can protect, like the biggest thing that's worth protecting, it's not necessarily like the product, but the brand. So like that really resonated, and that I thought was like my biggest weapon in my arsenal, because like I like to think that I'm pretty good at like the social media aspect and the TikToks and the creativity surrounding that element, that if someone were to create just another board, which mind you, they do exist, you'd think there'd be a relatively low competition item, which it is, but there are others out there. And I'm not necessarily threatened, because I like to think that I have a really good grip on like the social media element, which is what's going to allow me to outpace my competitor.
The name's great too, ckuterie.
So it's
brilliant.
So I appreciate that. I like it. I don't love it. I'm more of like a less on the nose type. Like I like the head tilt moment that, makes you think about it. Like I went to school for copywriting. So I like kind of giving an opportunity for the reader, the person to like walk themselves there instead of just giving it to them on a platter. But aside from that, like it is a good name for just getting a point across immediately, which I think there's just so much value in that alone. So
it's a pretty crass word that you've really tamed.
You
put a leash on it, and like, I mean, you gave it a bath and cleaned it up and put it, I mean, cock is it's a pretty harsh word. But totally. You put uterie on it, and it's like I couldn't even say it at first. Caleb had to teach me. Like a few shows ago, when I started talking about you on the show, I'm like, Caleb's like, dude, it's ckuterie, and I had to like practice it a lot.
A lot of people can't. A lot of people can't. So there's the negative side of that.
But once you get it, there's such pleasure.
It's almost kind of like my name. Immediately, they may not recognize it, but once you get it,
once you realize that you do know how to read, and the second grade was valuable.
Exactly. Yeah. Don't sleep on the second grade. But yeah, like the name is. I'm actually in the process of registering the trademark for it. I was recently advised to do so. I got on the phone with the U.S. like patent attorney, and we kind of went through the motions, and what kind of protection it offers and why it would be valuable. And so that process is underway, and that's exciting.
I want to say congratulations, but also I'm sorry, because I know, and on another hand, it's just money just to participate in the adult world.
Yeah, for sure. Although like it's more of like a peace of mind thing than anything.
Yeah.
Because like to your point, like the name's great, and like, you know, it's kind of like public domain right now until someone kind of claims it. So just kind of just protecting myself.
Hey, should I trademark the Sevan Podcast? I wonder if that's a popular name for a.
Might be worth a look.
It's not a naughty ckuterie is so good. Hey, is the skateboard a real item?
So that was and this is like just God bless TikTok. I mean, for so many reasons, but this was someone that commented like, yo, you should turn it into a skateboard. And you know, like the structure of TikTok is such that like you can reply to a comment with another video. And the comment appears, you can choose how long it remains on the video for. And so I was like, this is a great idea. And I went to like my local skate shop and did the whole like strap my phone to my chest and did like the classic like POV, engaging with people, show them the board, tell them what I was trying to do. They loved it. That video did relatively well. And then so I made it. Of course, like the board as a charcuterie board is not meant to withstand like the weight of someone like riding it like a skateboard. So when I took it to a skate park and paid people to do kick flips with it, the first guy that tried it snapped it in half. So that was a lesson learned. But I was then referred to someone who like makes custom skateboards. He's like very tied up, and I don't know if it's worth the pursuit. Like I'm already spread super thin, but it would be amazing. Like if I had the time, I think it would for sure sell, especially in your neck of the woods.
Oh yeah, yeah. I wonder if you just glued two boards together.
Glued to charcuterie board, like to my boards.
Yeah,
no,
I guess that would start getting expensive too at that point.
That, but also like it's beyond that. It's like I started doing a little research. It's like how the wood is actually pressed together. Like it's 7 plies of like laminate, and it's treated, and it's all this stuff. But you can't just kind of like put wheels on a piece of wood. Although like obviously that was like the initial idea.
A dick flip. That's great.
So but yeah, people love the series, and like this series, like I hired a videographer. He mic'd me up with lav mics. Like it was pretty legit afternoon, and we got like 5 videos out of it. So
oh, that guy knows what he's doing.
Yeah, he almost got it.
Did he say anything funny like, hey, the balls are getting in my way?
He did, especially at the end. He was a champ. He was like, and you know what? It was funny because like, so this is a park called Christie Pitts, right in like the heart of downtown Toronto. There's another skate park like 10 minutes away from there, which is the initial one I went to.
I didn't think it was gonna break like that. Interesting. Okay.
So, and that's only when he tried to shove it. If he kept trying to kick flip it, like I think like the just the orientation of the board, he would have just did more of those. But because he tried to shove it, he just like landed right on the soft spot. But I went to another skate park, and I was like, hey, I know this is kind of like a little out there, but like I made this board, blah blah blah. I was gonna see if like, would you be open to kick flipping it and like pay you like $10? And this is like before my videographer got there, and he's like, man, like get that gay shit out of here, like you're in the wrong spot. And then I just started getting like surrounded by people, and like I was kind of like bullied out of there, and I was like, oh wow, like this is not what I expected. But people, they were just
kickboard got bullied out of the.
They weren't about it. So I was like, all right, let's go to the next skate. I was planning on going to Christie Pitts, but I heard like that was a good park to go to. Like
skate parks are the vibe at skate parks are so different.
From park to park, for sure. For sure. Like it is very much like an inclusive, like of all skill levels type thing. But I think if something's out there like that, maybe there's definitely parks that are more resistant to it. So, you know, whatever, lesson learned. It worked out sort of until the board.
Wow, Yash. Just $24 in case you were wondering. Oh, you did the conversion from me from the. Is that the pound? Is that the UK's money?
It's a pound.
Wow, you're a good dude, buddy. Thank you, especially for all the times I made fun of you in the comments. I mean, no, I won't make fun of you for a week.
What's the rev share split on this thing?
Oh, it's horrible. Oh, between me and you?
Yeah.
Oh, it's horrible for you. Horrible.
Okay.
Horrible. I'll have my lawyer send you a note. It's horrible for you.
I guess that's fair.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It's just like
always read the fine print.
Yeah, it's so bad for you. Hold on. Let me see. Hold on. Let me look it up. 0.
Oh, okay. I could have guessed.
I think that's a 0. Roey, so what about a girl? Wow. Okay, easy, guys. Easy. I don't have time to collect money right now, unless you insist. He should make a ckuterie board where it's the vagina, but you can only send it as a gift to someone else. There's
an idea. That's hilarious.
Do you have a girlfriend?
I don't.
And that's going to be another hurdle's too strong, but enjoyable moment when you meet her parents.
In which I've made a TikTok about that.
Oh, you did?
Well, I mean, yes. Like it was just like a trend,
right?
Where it's just like a 7-second delay until like you just say, "Oh shit," and the copy was like, "When I realize I'm gonna have to explain what I do for a living to my future girlfriend's parents," and it's like, "Oh shit."
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah. It's just that will be a difficult one. But again, once they hopefully get past what it is,
yeah,
they can see and hopefully appreciate the business that it truly is, and give me the okay.
The accolades for the businessman that you are. Wasn't there a movie like on Netflix? It was like a 13-part series, and they filmed it like a documentary, but it's not a documentary, about some kids who they were trying to figure out who put dick graffiti on all the cars at a high school.
Something Simi Valley. Yeah, like Jimmy Tatro.
I can't remember. I just remember it was like pretty popular. This is like 5 years ago, 2 years ago.
Yeah, I believe that's what it would have been.
There was this guy at my work. I worked over at CrossFit Inc.
Right.
I don't know, fucking 1,000 years ago now. But we didn't have HR for the longest time, and we were a fucking big company, international company. We were all over the world, but we didn't have a human resources. And then we got an HR department. They made us put those posters up, like in the cafeteria, like how to behave.
Right. Yeah.
And within like 2 days, someone drew dick pics all over it.
Unreal. Yeah.
I was so proud of our team. I was so proud of our team.
Yeah. That's like a take that Toby moment.
Just like fuck off.
Oh, sorry, not American Vandal. That's what it was. Simi Valley is still Jimmy Tatro, which I believe American Vandal is as well. So that's where I was probably confused. But
is that the guy's name? He makes stuff that looks like a documentary, but it's a series. Is that kind of his style, or?
I don't think it's not his style. I think he got his come up on YouTube as just like a sketch guy.
Okay.
Yeah, and then he had some like small parts in like he was in 22 Jump Street.
Oh yeah, I remember that. That was the comedy, right?
Jimmy Tatro. Yeah, he's in Grown Ups 2. He's a big sequel guy, I think.
Hey, on your website, you also have like cup holders, right? They're like in the shape of penises. They're kind of like holders, coasters.
Coasters, yeah. So like, there's been a little bit of product line expansion, which I was like, I have so many other ideas. It's just like I'm spread so thin.
I just thought of another entrepreneur we had on. We had this guy on who's fucking killing it too. These are bottle openers made of old 50 caliber bullets. I forgot.
That's cool.
Yeah,
that's
right.
Really cool. Where does he source the shells from?
I don't know. He's a mill guy, and he just got elected to Congress, I think, too, which is kind of crazy. And his packaging's cool too. You would like it. It comes in like a wooden box. Okay, sorry. So product expansion, coasters.
Yeah, so coasters. There's trivets. You guys know what trivets are, right?
I know No, what
What's
I
trivets is
think
like
I should
they're
know.
often like made of cork, and it's like when you take like a hot dish out of an oven and you don't want to set it down on the table.
Oh
you-
yeah. Those are
Yeah.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah, so the trivets and like my dad screwing in the little rubber feet. Oh, I got a review. I didn't even. What's the review on this thing? So it should be at the bottom. Amazing.
Olivia, these are fantastic. I got 2 sets. One is going in my vagina and one is going in my kitchen. Wow. One is going to be my white elephant gift, and you damn well know that I'm going to have the most popular gift. The others are going to be going to my besties because we love good charcuterie and appreciate a nice D.
There you go.
Wow.
Perfect.
Wow.
It just goes to show you give the people a platform, and they're right there with you.
It just makes me want to meet her.
Yeah. When I do meet people at shows, they're always quick to bust my chops and hit me with bust my ball. Yeah, I should have said that. Hit me with when you're in it too much, you can't think of it anymore. But yes, break my balls, bust my balls, and like say jokes that I think they expect are ones that I've heard for the first time.
Yes, but you've heard them all.
But it's kind of all I kind of like invented them all, and so
Right.
I have to pretend like
humble brag.
Yeah, I have to pretend like it's the funniest thing I've ever heard, and then I don't get a sale, and I'm like, yeah, get out of here.
Yeah, it's called the Bottle Breacher. It's even got a fancy name. Kenneth just said it's called the Bottle Breacher by Eli Crane. Like, because that's
cool.
what the mill guys do. They breach doors and shit. So this is you breach the bottle. So clever.
That is clever. People are wicked smart. I've like my algorithm on TikTok has been just like inundating me with Shark Tank pictures. I've been a huge fan of Shark Tank and Dragon's Den. Like Shark Tank, way more for sure. Just bigger valuations, better products. But I love that show. Like me and my parents used to like just religiously watch it. But I had this conversation the other day because I have a buddy that works like in the creator economy. And like we always bump heads because like I personally I would identify more with being like a content creator than like an entrepreneur. It's kind of like the venture is almost like, I mean not quite, but like it's almost like an extension or like subsequent to my endeavor as like a content guy. Yeah. So. Yeah. Right, because like the
boards are kind of a muse for your content now.
Essentially, yeah. I mean, look, I haven't been keeping up with content recently because like Q4 is just insane, and now I'm trying to outsource both manufacturing and fulfillment because like I'm still fulfilling these things out of my parents' basement. Like every single board that goes out of here is like packaged up in the basement. So like if I'm trying to really scale this thing, which I am, I just can't continue that way. So like Q1, Q2 are like the perfect time to rebuild. So I've been less focused on content and like getting the next sale and more just about like building a proper system. So that's kind of where I find myself like in the next few months. I mean, mind you, like I'm still like I'll probably put out TikTok today and all that stuff, but like these kinds of things were like I wasn't moving anywhere close to what I'm moving now, so I had the time to do it. So once I kind of take all the heavy lifting and the labor and the fulfillment off my plate, then I can hopefully get back to that point of just making like just way more content and better content.
Caleb, can you play that again? I got an idea. I wonder if you've already done this one. You're going to be like, yeah, buddy, I invented this. This is your dad comes downstairs and he's like, son, what have I told you? Stop blowing cock in the basement.
Yeah. He just wouldn't go for it.
He wouldn't. Oh, so you did come up with that idea?
No, but
you know him.
I just know.
Yeah.
Actually, he's way more willing to be in front of the camera. My mom is like, she pretty much refuses.
She's like a really good sport about it.
What's that?
He's a really good sport.
He's a great sport. He's also a natural. Like I hardly have to do multiple takes with that guy.
I wonder if is he? What did you say? Is he still teaching graphic design?
No,
he's in the biz now.
He's team cock right now.
Okay.
But yeah, he's full retired.
Last thing you want to do is come down to the basement and your son's blowing a cock. Hey,
But he did say that his sorry to jump in there. He did say his students have mentioned some of his has mentioned seeing him on TikTok, which I'm sure was a terrible moment for him.
What about?
It was awesome.
Oh, are there different sizes? That one of those looked really small. And those look more.
There are different sizes. I don't know. He might have.
Someone wrote "whore" on their board. My goodness.
Yeah, and the.
Is there anything you won't write on the board? Have you ever gotten something and you're like, no, I'm not writing that?
Of course not.
The ckuterie, yeah. Freedom of speech. That's very cool of you. Freedom of speech.
Well, it's also just like freedom of speech, and also just like I don't get rubbed that way, you know. I wouldn't be like, whoa. Maybe like something anti-Semitic, but I don't know.
Oh, that would be wow. Someone do that and test them out.
I'd probably do it.
Rowie, what about censorship on TikTok? What about
yeah.
We've had some guests on here who get to like 3 million subscribers, and they I forget what they did, but they didn't even do anything that severe, and they got tossed. I had a blue check mark Instagram account that was pretty big, and they kicked me off.
So what does that? What happens? They just completely like wipe the account?
Yeah. I mean, for like 2 months, I can still see it, but no one else can see it.
Brutal.
And then all of a sudden, it's just gone.
Yeah,
but I didn't make money off of it. I just used it to troll guests. Like if it's so much easier to get people if you have a blue check mark because everyone's just a whore out there.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. And I mean that with peace and love.
Yeah, in the most respectful way possible.
Yeah.
No, so I like people. There are people like obviously, like I have a ton of support and that's great. And like the people that they're like, yo, like this dude's an idiot. Like this shit is so gimmicky. Like who the hell would ever buy it? Like I love engaging with them. The only thing is that like if I really tip someone the wrong way, there is potential for some like serious recourse because like I'm teetering the line of like what's probably acceptable on TikTok and Instagram anyways. So I don't want to piss off the wrong person and like risk having something happen to my account. So I usually like to just play that side kind of cool. Like I'll give little jabs, but like I won't go my hardest. Right. If I like had a clothing brand and I was like, and someone was giving me shit, I was like, okay, like just shred them. But
at the end of the day, if they help your algorithm and they help you sell some boards, you're not getting your ego involved.
Yeah. I mean, reasonably. Like I'm not like looking to go after people in the comments, obviously not. But if someone's like really going off on me, I'd be like, okay, I'll try and put this guy in his place. But like it's just like it's a higher risk situation to engage with that because again, if you piss off the wrong person, then like and if they're like, hey, this account arguably shouldn't be on Instagram anyways, then obviously that's not worth jeopardizing. But like someone was like, just send me a DM and it's like, this is the dumbest shit, like grow up or it was actually probably worse than that. I don't actually recall what it was. And then I just like screenshotted it, made it my story. And it's like, said like, it's moments like these that make you want to keep going with like a, I'm about to cry emoji. It's such a heartfelt message. And then he DM'd me again being like, this was funny. So he was a good sport about it. But yeah, like I have to remove myself from that because if I piss off the wrong person, then shit could bubble up. But I have had a couple videos get removed on TikTok. And I've like, what's it called? Gone through the process of, what's the word I'm looking for?
Protest or
like,
try to yeah. I don't even care if I get my shit back. Like, well, I don't care if I get. I just want my account back. I don't care if like
the video.
Like I got a strike on YouTube once too, and I took a little class to get the strike taken away.
Okay.
And you're right. It is all people reporting you.
Yeah, exactly. So
so this guy Mason Mitchell in the comments, he's this guy. So he says a lot of people don't know this, but Sevi had a blue checkmark account, and he's joking because I probably talk about it 7 times in every show. So do I fuck this guy up right here? Like, do I be like, hey, fuck you, dude, go find another channel to watch, or do I be like, good one, Mason, good job, dude, yeah, funny, yeah, you got me.
It depends. Like if listeners are scarce, I mean, you want to keep them close to the chest, I understand.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah, I have 6 followers, so I'll do it. Mason, that's good. Thank you. You're funny. Thanks for contributing.
I don't know. The double first name is always like, can you trust this guy?
Yeah, well, it's the same 200 people that watch the show every morning, so they're kind of like Mason, you're a good dude, Mason. I love you. We'll keep the jokes coming. Fuck if I find out where you live, you're dead.
Yeah. So, but like,
and look at him, look at him, look at him, like, what am I gonna do to him? Look at this guy's fucking arm. Like, what am I gonna do to him? He's half my fucking age. He'll punch my fucking lights out and take my wife.
I almost want to say that's a stock image. I don't know if that's actually what Mason.
No, it's him. It's all CrossFitters. Every one of these narcissistic motherfuckers. Yeah, it's like these are all we do is we listen to the Sevan Podcast and flex in the mirror. That's like
sounds like a good day.
It is. It's a good day.
What about?
Go ahead. No, you go ahead.
I have had a bunch of videos like taken down or whatever, but like the bigger thing is I can't. I'm having difficulty running paid ads because that goes through like a whole process that has to get approved, right? So like I have had some slip through the cracks, but I've also had some not. So
isn't it so weird because really you're just going back to thank you, Mason. He says you're welcome. Thank you. I know that was a good shtick. I appreciate you. I love you, buddy. But it's so weird because it's just a piece of wood in the abstract in the shape of a penis that you serve food on. I mean, the whole God, we live with idiots.
Yeah, a little bit.
God.
Yeah.
Just leave this kid alone. He's starting a business. He's at least you're not out in the street fucking slanging fentanyl.
Yeah, far from.
Right.
Yeah, far from.
Slanging dicks, man.
Yeah.
They really don't let you do paid ads, huh?
So they do. I mean, like it's a crapshoot, right? It's like I'm working like I have like an ad buyer, and I send him the stuff, he tees it up, and then it's just like a complete crapshoot if it gets pushed through. But I mean, like it's not the worst thing because if I had to just rely on ads, then like I probably like wouldn't have made such a conscious effort to like develop organic, and organic trumps any paid ads. So I wouldn't say blessing and curse, but like it's not all bad. Yeah.
I'll say this: don't get shadow banned because even when I had 100,000 followers and a blue check mark, I was shadow banned so hard. Like people would send me screenshots of my shadow ban, 100 of them every day.
What does that mean? Like, what does that look like when someone sends you a screenshot of your shadow ban? What does that mean?
So they try to tag you and it says you can't tag this person, or if someone tries to follow you, they send you like 3 extra clicks before you follow them. It says, are you sure you want to follow this person? They spread a lot of misinformation and basically, so I have 100,000 followers. I make a post and it has like 7 likes and 1 comment, and the comment's like spam. You know what I mean? And it's just and it's like that for years.
So that happened to you, right? Yeah. So
it's my most recent account. You'd be lucky if you can tag me in that.
Really?
And I don't do anything crazy. I just show myocarditis deaths. I mean, that's it.
Seems pretty minor.
Yeah, I just have a fascination with heart attacks. So what?
My AirPods just died. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you turned into a robot for a second. That was cool. You turned into Optimus Prime.
Is the quality way worse?
No, actually.
Okay. Yeah, well, that would be my worst nightmare because like everything's organic, or like most of the real uplift is organic. Like I'm not running ads right now just because like so many of them got rejected. I have to like kind of rethink a few things. But yeah, if I got shadow banned, it'd probably be like the end, honestly.
And what's crazy now is a bunch of my friends are showing nipple on Instagram. Like somehow we've crossed the nipple barrier.
So much, yeah.
What about that blue thing on the wall behind you to your left? Was that an inspiration for the board? Yeah, that thing. What is that?
That's a Hamsa. It's like
part of Jewish tradition.
Yeah, it's like a Jewish emblem of hope.
Does any part, and has that been hanging there on the wall since you've been a young boy?
I don't know. Probably.
I wonder if subliminally that thing got to you, and that was the original inspiration for the penis board.
Yeah, like we're just like right up here. Yeah.
The Hamza. The Hamza is a palm-shaped amulet, not the one in Rowi's house. It's cock-shaped. It's palm-shaped amulet popular through North Africa and the Middle East. Hey, that's actually a beautiful. Let me see that the actual Hamza. That's actually I would have guessed that was like Buddhist or some shit. That's actually beautiful.
Nice, right? Yeah.
It looks like some third eye shit. Yeah.
Well, yeah. I don't know. They might say if you do a hot search for evil eye.
Yeah.
Is that you? Does that? Yeah. It's like it's supposed to like ward off some shit.
Bad guys.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. What about I have no business getting in this space with you. I apologize. But what about other, and if you want me to fuck off, just tell me. But what about other things like my wife has this like vase with like wooden spoons and shit next to the oven, or next to the stove. What about spoons that are like the shape of penises, or like it has like a boob handle, or
all of it? I want to do it all.
Yeah. Okay.
I really see like a lot of spin-offs to branch into like kind of the kitchenware, houseware kind of idea.
Like a towel, like a towel, maybe the shape of a penis or something.
Sure. It could be towels, like you said, like the spoons,
sponges.
It could be. You know what? It could be. Luckily, like the penis shape is applicable to many household items.
Yeah.
So look, it's who knows how high we could fly with this thing.
A turkey baster that's the shape of a penis.
There you go. And so like I have like a couple of these things, and the reason why they're just like this is A, I just kind of like source them, but B, they'll fit in the box, right?
Oh, genius.
The box is like it's custom sized to the board, and then like if you imagine like the area between the balls and the shaft,
yeah,
you have like a vertical area of on the big boards. It's like probably like 8 inches tall by like 3 inches wide. So toothbrush, there you go. I like. Let's keep it. I didn't know you had
yeah.
Good idea.
See, Caleb, look at Caleb. You look at Caleb. You're not an entrepreneur, Caleb. You're a soldier. You're a warrior.
Yeah. Fuck me, right?
You just protect the business, and we'll fucking make the shit inside. You just shoot anyone who comes close, buddy. Caleb, by the way, is deployed overseas. And he's in the Air Force, Mr. Rowie. His creative juices aren't flowing. He's taking people's lives, not adding value to them.
All the time, dude.
Almost as admirable as what I've done.
Yes. Okay. So sorry. The box. Shipping's important. You have to No, he know. Speaking of, okay, here we go. Speaking of shower mats, H&M have the best ones. No slip, and they're affordable and look pretty good. You fucking weirdo, Yash. You're not joking. I know you're not joking. You're a fucking guy from India who has a high taste in fashion and in bath mats. Caleb, how far is Munich from you? Oh, someone knows. He knows. He knows what you're about to do. Is that where you're going?
I don't think he knows. No.
Oh, okay.
People have just been guessing things, and I just ignore them because they're idiots.
So the penis is a sorry, I'm getting wily. Rowie, I just keep interrupting too much. So the penis is a good shape, practical.
Yeah, I think so. I think it has real world application to a lot of items that you could kind of penisify, cockify, any of the variations. And I do see a lot of like other items, and people love them. People think it's funny. Vases, like the decor. People want something different. Want something that's a little out there. It'll allow them to express something. They'll go for it. It's kind of what I've seen. They'll go for it. I mean, like I thought it was like a pretty. I thought it was dumb. I don't think it was like tragically dumb. But look,
a penis-shaped shelf.
All of it.
Do you have a list of those things?
I do now.
Oh, okay, yeah, right. What if you Google? Oh God, this is. I got to be careful. I fucked the show up before doing this.
Yeah.
Penis accessories. I wonder what. Oh yeah, it's not exactly what I was going for. Oh God, they have a dick accessory on Etsy.
What is
Yeah.
that? What is that?
God damn it.
I'm gonna click it, but I'm gonna be careful. Oh, wow. Okay, so wow. My God. Hey, this is brilliant. There's one that's it's a magnet and it's a banana that's peeled and there's a penis in it. And then there's also these little penis things that you stick on light switches. I didn't even know people had light switches anymore. Yeah, it's just like it looks like a little dildo, but you just put it over.
Yeah, all that stuff.
Yeah, this is incredible. Oh my goodness, there's some stuff on here I kind of don't want to see. Penis lighter. What about the wood? Would you prefer to keep using wood or no? You don't care.
Yeah, like as much as I can. I think it's just just keep it on theme. Like that's the thing, right? Like the coasters, I could have gone out of like, that like coaster material, like not cork, but like, like corky type stuff. Probably do cheaper, but just trying to keep it on brand.
Oh man, this was pretty clever. There's one that's just like this sticker, and you put it on your brake light, and when you push the brakes, like a penis lights up on your brakes.
There you go.
Wow. Are you do you do any of the dating apps?
Yeah.
But why not just go old school? Like no dating apps. You're just a businessman and you meet and you just you think dating apps are bad?
Yeah, it's almost like it's like supplementary to your dating efforts. Like it's not like you know what I mean? It's like you just treat it as like an inbox. Like it's there and you kind of out of sight, out of mind, you forget about it, and then every so often, very rarely, you'll get a little flutter and you'll see
have you ever gone on a date from a dating app?
Yeah.
Is it scary?
Is it scary? You know what? I'm just like a natural conversationalist, so I don't really sweat these things. But yeah, they can obviously be bad.
I would be fucking terrified.
Yeah. Yeah, it's tough. I mean, I'm also like I'm still at home.
Yeah.
So that's a hurdle. There's many hurdles for.
I tried to stay at home as long as I could. Definitely do it. Fuck all those people. Just keep staying. I got kicked out so many times. It wasn't until I was 34 that I was kicked out for the last time.
Yeah.
And my life turned out great.
I can see that.
Fucking great. Yeah.
No, I think.
You have good parents. Stay close to them. Milk that shit. Stay in the basement and just work your ass off.
I mean, that's the plan regardless. I probably will be moving out in the summer.
I'm sorry.
My choice. It's just time. Just need that independence. It's also like I mean, I did go away for school, but it's this. I don't know, something about the environment. Like it's the same house. It's all I've known. I need to change it up. I see it as like an investment in myself and the business. Like I just need a new. For
like stimulus and creativity and just like
I'm really wearing thin. Like I'm just like it's the same. Yeah, I need to shake. I'm in like super anal about my environment. When I was at school, and I'd go to the library, I'd have to make sure I have like one of 4 spots, or else like my day was fun. Yeah, those. Like you can't just plot me anywhere. Like I'm like, okay, this is good. The lighting's good. Like I'm like one of those. Like it's bad, but it's a hardwire problem.
I could be like that too.
Yeah, I was crazy. Like in the library, if like my spots were done, just that's the day's a chalk. I go home, it's done.
Hey, do you work out?
So obviously I'm deferring this answer. So no, but like I'm super active. Like I play basketball like 3 times a week.
Okay.
Like that's become kind of like a form of therapy.
For sure. Yes.
I actually like, and I didn't really realize it was until I saw this TikTok. It was like this guy, it was a great TikTok. It applies to pretty much anything, but it was like, this guy was like about to step on a gym, like a basketball court floor. And it was like all these murmurs and whispers and just like all this noise in the background. And then he just like steps on the hardwood floor and they just cut. And he's like, basketball's my therapy. I'm like, true, never thought of it like that, but 100%, because like at the gym, I mean, this is just like the human condition where you just can never shut off your mind. But at the gym, like you're like, there's moments of like intense focus, but then like you put down your weight and you're just like back to like thinking about the same shit you were thinking about prior. But when you're in like a sport that requires like your constant focus, you can't think about anything else. You just can't. It's like the one time, I think it's like the closest you can ever get to shutting off your brain, which is like a place that I'd like to be, because like this thing's just keeping me up at night kind of thing. But yeah, like that, like that's why I try to be as active as possible. Like I'll go to the gym if I like don't have basketball just to get a sweat in, but like I'm not a gym rat or anything like that.
Yeah, don't ever give that up. I told basketball 3 times a week is for sure fucking working out. Is it intramural, or you just go there and play pickup games?
So I have me and my buddies have had like just an open run for like a year and a half. It's the same 10 guys. We show up, they draft teams on the spot, and it's just pickup. And then I'm in two other leagues that have referees, which is so nice because like with COVID, I haven't played with like ref games in forever. So it's nice to get back there. And then occasionally, so like the 2 leagues are same spot, same night. So I just go from one game to the next. It's like the same facility.
I like the way you did that. That was the patented ckuterie CEO movement. I just go from one game to the next. That's good.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. Always loyal to the brand.
Gotta be. And then occasionally I'll play like pickup. Like if I just get called into like some pickup stuff in the neighborhood, I'll just say yes. I just can't.
Did you have COVID fear?
Yeah. Oh yeah, plenty.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh wait, did I have it personally?
Yeah.
Yes, I did. I thought.
Oh.
Yeah, I did.
Did you get over it, or do you still got it?
Yeah, it was like a 2-day.
Oh, you only no, but I mean, like, did you have like fear? Not like, oh, you had COVID, you're saying, for 2 days.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, but did you ever have COVID fear, or were you kind of like me, like fuck this, I don't give a fuck, and just like cutting through the yellow lines and riding the subway and licking the ground, and like I'm like way off the deep end. You know what I mean? Like I'm like
the only reason
I'm like one of your truckers. Think of me, one of your truckers on steroids. Like I'm like.
Yeah, I'm like the only reason I wasn't joining you with licking the floor is because I just like was living with my parents.
Right.
If I was independent, I would have like.
That makes me happy to hear that. Yeah, I have a cockboard. What do you mean? I'm not afraid of COVID.
No, of course not. I'm not afraid of
good.
Yeah, I'm immune. Cockboards is a form of immunity.
What about Lil Dicky? The arguably, God, what a fucking magical human being. Do young Jewish men like him? Is he a?
It's funny you mention that because like I grew up like never having like that role model, like that really famous person that was like, oh, like this is my guy.
Yeah.
And once I was introduced to him, I'm like, this is my fucking guy. He's insane. I think like he's
insane. He is so good.
He's admirable on so many levels, but like the fact that at like I think it was like the age I am now or even younger. And this is like before like everything. He just like took his bar mitzvah money and was like, fuck this, I'm making a music video.
Yeah.
At the time where like it was constant, you were constantly warned against your online persona and how it might impact your professional career. Because he was working at an ad agency. And then he puts out this video that's like ex-girlfriend or ex-boyfriend, and he just erupts on Reddit and he's fucked. Like he's
can't ever get another real job now.
No, he was like really committing. And like I think there's a little bit of that leaks into me. Like if I was applying to like a real job at some point and they're like, what's this guy all about? Like for the last year and a half, this is all I've been doing. Luckily, I think I'm in a position where like I'll be using this to parlay into the next thing, not like having to get a job to supplement this. I mean, as of now. But I mean, look, if I had to like really get another job and they were like going to do a deep dive, like that's definitely a point of contention. But I also think now more than ever, people are probably more accepting of it.
Oh, dude, let me tell you something. If I have a startup I don't give a fuck what I'm selling. I could be selling fucking Bibles, and you applied. Anyone with half a brain would consider you. You're a fucking entrepreneur from a startup who's learning all the fucking hard knocks. In the real world, anyone who gives a shit that the fact that you're not selling anything. It's not like you're selling fucking zip ties to fucking Al Qaeda. Like, fuck. It's great what you're doing. I don't think I think already your business is successful enough that you've transcended any hiccup anyone has with the penis. Did you ever see Little Dicky freestyling when he was on
Breakfast Club?
Yeah.
You know, I did.
That freestyle is
I don't think it's a freestyle because to his own admission, he's not a good freestyler.
Oh, you don't think that was a freestyle?
No,
You're breaking my heart with the Michelle Obama line, and
No, I actually don't think it's a freestyle. Because wait a sec.
And he says the line about hummus and
yeah, but those are spin-offs of other jokes that he's made. I believe in what's the song?
Oh, you're breaking my heart. Either way, it was amazing. Even if it wasn't a freestyle. Yeah. They presented it like it was a freestyle, and I was just like, I've watched it like 20 times with my kids. I can't even stop watching it.
I don't even think to say it's not a freestyle is not discrediting him in any way.
Okay.
Personally, I mean, like freestyling is like to me the most impressive thing anyone could ever do. I think.
Right, like that guy Harry Mack. That guy's insane.
Amazing. That guy.
Yeah, it's amazing.
That guy is crazy. He's so good, and he uses the tools available to him so well. Like on TikTok, he's killing it. He goes on Omegle and records his free and tells people to throw him words. Records that like his.
I could never go on Omegle. Have you ever done Omegle?
I'm terrified of Omegle.
Me too. I went to it once and I clicked on it and quickly clicked away and I went and took a shower. And I didn't even see anyone. I was like, I can't fucking do this.
It's like a safe bet.
We did it live one time.
Oh yeah, that's the only time I did it. I think we went live on this show. That's right, Caleb.
Oh,
that was terrifying.
Terrifying.
Terrifying. I did it like with my friends and shit when we were like younger in middle school.
Yeah, I would need like 10 guys around me and a bong.
Yeah, like fucking around.
Yeah.
But no, today, that guy kills it. But yeah, freestyle. Okay, like freestyle. If Little Dicky freestyle that, it would be like different. But also to like pen and paper that is just as impressive. It's like everything he says is double meaning. Yeah, and he's just a phenomenal actor. Like it's crazy that
I did get tired of his show though a little bit. Like I watched the season. I was like, okay, I get it. I got a little exhausted. It's a little too self-deprecating. Like I wanted to see him come up a little bit.
So you know what? I actually like. There's moments of the show where he has these like moments of monologue where he's just like, "I'm the shit. I'm God's gift to Earth."
Oh, good.
I don't think that's an embellishment. I think that's actually how he views himself, which I think is great. Like I actually,
me too.
I think he sees himself like that. And the fact that he's so vocal and like forthcoming about it is like,
okay, I don't remember those parts. That makes me feel better. I just don't. He self-deprecates so much that I'm like, okay, I need a little bit of self-love.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's a Jewish guy thing. That's like my whole angle.
Like Howard Stern, even.
It's a little bit. I obviously know he is a little bit before my time.
Oh, lots of self-deprecation too.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it's easier to do that than to gloat.
Right.
Keeps your ego in check.
You also just look like a douche if you're gloating.
Well, also once you've self-deprecated, it's kind of like a shield. Like if I tell you I have a 1-inch dick, now what can you say to me? Like it's all compliments from there on out. Hey, you have a 2-inch dick. Yeah, thank you.
Exactly. Yeah, now we're rolling in it.
Yeah.
But like that's I'm a bit so. I would love to pretend like I'm this like guy or entrepreneur that like reads all the time. I don't at all. And it's not for a lack of trying. It's I can't retain a fucking thing. Like I have to read like the page 6 times before it sinks in because like my mind is always so elsewhere. But I do retain really well through podcasts, and I'm like driving a lot, so I have like the perfect opportunity. So there's been a bunch of podcasts that I've really liked. So Dax Shepard's Armchair Expert, if you're familiar. You know Dax Shepard?
I don't. No.
You know Kristen Bell?
No.
Yeah, like she's Frozen. Yeah, you know Kristen Bell. She's
Okay.
she's Forgetting Sarah Marshall.
I'm 50, dude. I'm 50. I have little kids. I go to the skate park all day. Like,
Not really an
I
excuse.
troll people on Instagram to get them on my. I don't recognize her. I see her now.
No, so that's his like assistant. But look up Kristen Bell.
I recognize that guy with the mohawk. Yeah, I don't recognize her.
Really?
No, but that guy she's standing next to kind of looks familiar.
So her, Kristen, and Dax are husband and wife. They're both like, he's an actor, but now he's like been big up with his podcast, and she's like one of the biggest actresses ever right now.
Really?
And,
tell me some movies she's been in. Tell me a movie. I saw The Menu on iTunes.
I don't know. That's not her.
Oh.
That is the Queen's Gambit girl, I think.
I don't know that either. That's a TV show.
Yeah, it was big during COVID.
I tried to watch that Housemaidens one where like they just fuck certain. I couldn't make it through one episode. I was gonna kill myself. Bridesmaids or something where there's just only certain girls that can have babies and they're passed around.
Isn't that Handmaid's Tale?
Handmaids, yes.
That's actually set in like Toronto or something.
I don't recognize any of these movies except Frozen because my boys watched Frozen like they were trying to like break the TV.
Yeah. No, she's big. She's big time.
Okay.
Anyhow, you said you have little kids?
Yeah. I have 2 6-year-olds and an 8-year-old.
Then they'd for sure know Frozen as you would as well.
Yeah. That's what I mean. I've watched Frozen 1,000 times.
That's her.
Yeah, but she's I only hear her voice in the
Yeah.
Because it's a cartoon.
Right. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
In any case, I've just been big on podcasting, and you know Adam Devine or Devine, like the little guy.
That's the guy. He's in that. He's the singer.
No.
In that video where he goes to weddings and they pull the sheet up and he's singing.
No, that's Adam Levine.
Oh shit! I don't know.
Adam Devine is.
Yeah, Adam Devine's an actor, like little guy. He's in. Yeah, that guy. You recognize that guy?
No, but he looks like this other guy I've seen on social media, Tyler something, who sings nasty songs but in a really beautiful voice.
Oh, that's funny. Anyways, he was on the podcast. This is we've had a little bit of a detour here, but to bring it back.
Okay. That's okay. I like it.
That's what podcasts are, I find. He was on the podcast and he's like, my like weapon when I was growing up was just like to call like self-deprecation because you just beat people to the punch. Like it's disarming people is pretty much what it is.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So that's when you said that, I was like, yeah, that's like kind of a direct quote from Devine. Is it Divine? Devine?
I think it's Divine.
I also like your mom jokes, just going straight at people's moms like as hard as I can.
Yeah, what you got?
Say that again.
What do you got? Let's hear.
Like if someone says something like you look like an idiot riding that motorcycle. Like if I posted on social media me riding a motorcycle, and I'll be like, I go, well, just so you know, your mom doesn't look like an idiot riding my cock.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? Just like
you have a motorcycle.
I do have a motorcycle, but I haven't ridden it in years. I've 3 or 4 motorcycles.
I feel like I'd love to get on a motorcycle. I feel like I'd do well.
It's really nice. I can't recommend it though. As a parent, I can't recommend it.
Yeah, I bet. I know it's not the comparison that would do it any justice. I grew up snowboarding, but then during the pandemic, I got into like trail biking, like through forests and shit. And immediately I just felt so different because like on your snowboarding, you're perpendicular to the direction you're moving, right? Like your chest is sideways, but you're moving down. And so like whatever, you're turned. But like and I think like indirectly I felt like a little out of control because I'm like not looking the direction that I'm going or not facing the direction I'm going. But as soon as I'm on a bike and I was like looking the direction I was going, I felt so in control. So in control. Like I was doing like the near miss on purpose kind of thing.
Oh.
Yeah. So I feel like just like the amount of control you'd have like on a bike and then like a bike would be pretty cool. I don't know. I feel like I'd love it.
You would love a motorcycle. Weaving through traffic, you feel fucking invincible.
Oh man, yeah. Because
lane splitting's legal in California. You can do crazy shit. Yeah.
Well, yeah. Isn't that like? Have you seen Nathan? You must. Do you know Nathan For You?
No.
Have you heard of the show?
The show? That's what it's called? The show?
Nathan For You is the title of the show.
No.
And pretty much,
I don't know shit that you know.
It's really good. You'd love it. It's essentially like this guy. He's actually Canadian. And his whole thing is like he positions himself as this marketing expert, and he comes up with like the most absurd solutions to help struggling businesses. Like, for example, it was like it was like a pizza place, and it's like your pizza will be delivered in 5 minutes or it's free. Obviously impossible. Obviously impossible. And the size of the pizza was like a Lunchables pizza. It's like
yeah.
So it's just like shit like that, and it's like actually ingenious. And
I loved Red Bulls. It'll give you wings. I loved that. I thought it was brilliant.
What, just the tagline?
Yeah, and just the cartoons. The commercials were just fucking absurd.
Yeah. So one of his thing was like because lane splitting is legal in California, he would hire people to pull up on a motorcycle, and it was like the driver and a passenger.
Yeah.
And then he would offer to drive someone's car that was stuck in traffic to their destination.
Yeah.
And then have them hop on the back and get like lane split driven to where they're trying to go. And then the other person would drive their car to their office, but at least he's at home. And so like no one fucking went for it, but like it's these kinds of ideas.
Hey, I'm probably going to get in trouble are you on a computer or a phone?
Computer.
Okay, good. I'm going to show you this. Look at this. I just think this is, it's 5 years ago. God, I think this is so brilliant. So we have this holiday in the US, it's called Thanksgiving.
Right.
And like you kill a turkey and eat it.
We have the same holiday.
Oh, you guys got that? Okay, up there.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Okay. Here we go.
Uh-oh, this does not look good. Here, quick, have a Red Bull and pass it on. No Red Bull? No.
Good, right?
I thought they were gonna do something with like he can fly anyways. He's a turkey.
Oh.
That's what
I mean, turkeys can't fly, so.
But turkeys can't fly, so.
Although we have a shit ton of wild ones around my neighborhood, and at night they go pretty high up in the trees. They got like a one jump, couple flaps,
Okay, yeah.
Go high, go vertical.
Kind of like a.
Oh, you think I did just get flagged for that? Isn't that crazy? How do I get flagged for fucking selling your garbage sugar drink? You fucking assholes. How about thank you? How about send me a thank you? Yeah, these city folk don't know. Yeah, turkeys can fly. Of course they can fly. I didn't want to be rude to it, Caleb, but
Okay,
yeah.
cool. That's good to know.
Okay. I'm just hardworking. I don't know these things because I'm hardworking. It's not because I never go out. This episode, no way. Mr. Cock is going to think Sevan never goes out. No, do you think your dad knows who Kristen Bell is?
No.
Oh yeah. See, I get it. Then I get a pass on that.
He's got like 17 years on you, and he's a foreigner. So.
Oh. Hey, did he do Krav Maga?
No.
Oh. Then I would then have to. I'm suspect that maybe he's not Jewish.
Yeah. No, he is. He's
okay.
He's trimmed. We all are. So.
Not this Armenian man. My poor wife. Oy.
Yeah.
Oy vey.
Oy vey is right.
Mr. Roey Dunkelman.
Yep.
I really appreciate you coming on. You are an absolute amazing conversationalist, and now I know why you're not afraid of Tinder. You are cool as shit.
Appreciate it. Yeah, I might have to jot you down as a reference.
Anytime. Ckuterie boards. What a cool thing. I just love having these people. The truth is here basically for me, it's just a dude who had ambition and is killing it and started your own business. And dude, your parents are probably so proud of you and you're going to be so successful in life. And thanks for letting me rub elbows with you for a minute.
Rub away. That's why I'm here. I appreciate you coming. I know we had a little hiccup last week because we were supposed to have this But no, I'm so glad you reached out. Despite the blue check mark, I just decided to give you a shot.
Thank you.
Which, I'm obviously relieved, and yeah, exactly, we got it done. No, it's just fun. I love it. I could talk about it forever, and yeah, it's be in touch. I mean, I guess you got another listener now. So what does that bump you up to 201?
201. I do want to say this too. I want to apologize for one thing.
Let's hear it.
Every podcast you do now will only be downhill. And I mean that with
one tomorrow.
You do?
Yeah.
I mean that with absolute sincerity. Everyone is now going to seem I can't be humble about it. I know you said that gloating is such braggery, but every single one is downhill from here, and I'm sorry.
Yeah, you know what? You have a good thing going here. I can tell.
Thank you, sir.
You got the voice.
I've never heard that in 700 shows, but I do. But yeah,
is this 700? Wow, that's impressive. You know, I heard a stat the other day that like 1% of podcasts go past, or like maybe not 1%, but like a very small amount go past 7 episodes.
Dude,
so you're outpacing a lot of people.
Dude, this is a top 0.5% podcast in the entire world, and it's still fucking tiny. That means that down below me are just there's like 2.6 million podcasts groveling for like just 100 followers.
Yeah. No, it's a tough racket.
It's so tough. It's fucking a joke. It's
I mean, I love podcasts. You know, might spin one of my own one day, depending on what your availability is.
You're always welcome on the show.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, please. If you do come out with some new product, please come on. I won't keep you. I'll only keep you on for 15 minutes if you come on again.
Okay, that probably sweetens the deal a little bit.
All right. Yeah, and of our we can't. YouTube is just fucking us. Every time we go up in subscribers, we go back down. Like they got some problems with the injection talk. I like to talk about the injection a lot.
I see.
They don't like that so much. They don't like that.
Well, it's a good thing you're whispering.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, fellas, I do appreciate it sincerely. It's been a blast.
I know you have to pee. It's okay. Me too.
Until next time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Peace and love. Thanks, Roey. Like I said, come on anytime, brother.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, appreciate it. Have a good one.
Ciao. That's pretty solid for a 25-year-old dude to hang.
Yeah. Get a little antsy there towards the end, I think.
He had to pee. I'm developing cock eatery boards just to add to a C&D to my cock eatery. C&D, that's like your job. Your job.
Cease and desist.
Oh.
Oh, he needs another cease and desist. That's right. Okay.
Right. I thought it was CV. What's CV stand for? That's like your resume, right? A CV?
Sure.
Someone's like, I'm working on my CV. I don't know.
I haven't written a resume in 5 years.
Better dust that shit off. Hey, Twitter had a sensitive content warning for this podcast. No shit. What, all 6 of our listeners on Twitter? I don't think I've ever seen
Twitter.
Right. Well, look at it. I mean,
Twitter's worse than Instagram, dude.
Yeah, for sure. But like there's a whole genre now of men on Instagram. I think Nikki Rod was doing it too, where like you see them working out and you can see their big cock swinging around through their shorts, right? And it's like, and there's nipple everywhere, and just it's crazy to think that I've ever done anything that remotely could consider being banned. I guess I called that girl the other day a cum dumpster. That I wish I wouldn't have done that. In hindsight, that's like the worst thing I've ever done, I think. The podcast I'm going on Thursday had a sensitive podcast warning on it on YouTube. Never seen that for Sevan show. And you're not going on a podcast. Shut up. No one invited you on a podcast. Shut the fuck up.
We went on Coffee Pods and Wads, I think. Or it's Clydesdale. One of the two.
Mason, thanks for the alley-oop earlier. You're a good dude. Devesh Maharaj, the hammer. Been a couple weeks since the last cease and desist. Probably time for a new one. Oh, there you go. Yeah, of course. The smart Indian guy knows. Yes, it's Latin for resume. Okay. So dry here. I'm going to Lake Tahoe tomorrow.
Sweet.
I'm going up to Woodward. Hey, you think our account already has the I'm gonna go see if we already have like a.
I think I just checked and there wasn't anything on there.
Dang, you're quick.
Oh, never mind. I take it back.
It's there.
It's just a limited.
Oh, what's funny is I'm gonna request the review and the show's not even done yet. We've had a lot of entrepreneurs on this show.
I was just thinking, Dale,
Saran,
King.
Oh yeah, shit.
Doc Spartan.
Dude, this could be called the entrepreneurial podcast.
Yeah, we could have a whole series and make a whole playlist for it.
Yeah, entrepreneurs. Hey, so tonight at 6:00, I'm having this guy on. I think he might be one of the best, what they call growth hackers. I'd never even heard that term until recently, but it's exactly what we're not doing for this show.
Okay.
Growth hacking is just like when you do stuff like to make your business grow. So
Okay.
it's a fancy term for like the stuff you take the stuff you're already doing and then utilize it to grow faster. And like basically I was listening to him on a podcast and he was his name's Aaron Jin. And he was basically saying stuff like, yeah, people just think that they can work really hard and put out a good product and their shit will fly. And he's like, but basically that's not true. And I'm just like, fuck, I'm gonna hate this podcast today because that's where I'm at. I'm like, I'll just work hard and do the right thing, and it'll all turn out hunky dory.
He's gonna pick us apart.
Sevi, are you flying or driving to Tahoe? I think I'm driving, and I think my kids are flying.
Meet you there.
It's just a 20-minute up and down. I think they'll land in Truckee. Is where they'll go. I don't think they'll fly into Tahoe, to be honest. Because we're going to Woodward, the skate place. The resort there is Boreal. Am I shadow banned? Do I exist? I don't know.
I think she was looking to see if she can see Yash's comments. I think she just has top chat instead of live chat on.
Oh, I see what you're saying. You're answering Trish's question. Oh, yeah. Oh, I was wondering that one time I was listening to the show when Hiller was doing her show, and I couldn't figure out how I didn't see all the comments.
Live chat. You got to change it to live chat.
Are you and Susie? Yeah, Ryan, are you and Susie and Bill doing what it takes to open an affiliate soon? Who's Bill? Bill Grunler? I don't think we're doing it with Bill Grunler. I think we're doing it with Chris Cooper and Hiller. Although Grunler would have been a good idea to do it with too. I don't think it's a private airport, but it's a private plane we're going on.
Ooh.
Yeah. Or my kids are going on. Sevan, are you going live when out in Tahoe? That's the question. What happens in the next 4 days? That's the fucking question. I'm going to take Oh, can you guys see my new chairs? You guys, so the couch is gone. I don't know if you guys saw. I got these two red chairs and I ordered a table. You probably can't see both. Maybe I could switch cameras and you guys could see both the chairs.
Is that the table or is there a different one?
No, it'll be a different table. The table hasn't come yet. And that's why Dave was supposed to come on yesterday, but I couldn't get all the shit set up in time.
Chairs look nice though.
Thanks. Okay, so look at this. So that's a camera, just like a shit web camera I have up there, but you can see like I got these two chairs and then I can turn around and face the guests and there'll be a table here. And I think I'm going to even get a third chair. And then somehow
get a third one in there.
Say that. Yeah, I think I can. Cause I can also move. I mean, it's still like,
oh, wow.
Still,
okay.
Those people are still probably like 7 or 8 feet from me. Yeah, it's going to be cool.
Nice.
Get a couple other different cameras in here. And I think I maybe put a TV monitor back there or something. I wish money was no object. I would just get tons of shit and just start trying different shit. I just want to spend like 50 grand trying new shit. Instead, my budget's like $50.
Nice.
But whatever. Figure it out. Did you go dumpster diving for those? Easy, Jethro. I got those. Those are actually I got on Amazon for $80 for the pair, and I had to assemble them. And they're I can't actually believe how nice they are.
$80. That's it.
Yeah, and they're so nice.
That's a steal.
The couch is just over there. Maybe I'll integrate the couch too. Maybe the couch will end up going somewhere too. Who knows? There's a ski resort up there called Boreal, and they have a fancy indoor skating place. It's called Woodward, and I got coaches there. And my kids are gonna go skating there. I'm going up there with Greg's family, so Greg's kids and my kids will skate and ski there for like 4 days. I'm pretty excited. And it's really hard for me not to do the podcast. I never put anything ahead of the podcast, but I have to take advantage of this. And I'm pretty excited. It's going to be great for my kids. So yes, so I will be taking all my shit up there. I don't know what the internet's like at the house. No, Dave will be, David Castro is coming on.
No.
Yes.
David said, Heidi, you're not good on camera.
Oh shit. Wow. Ouch.
So David's dead.
Wow. Heidi was good. She came on the UFC show, and actually, like, I was expecting it to be pretty fucking bad, and I scared the shit out of me when Kayla brought her on, and she actually did good. I mean, I had such low expectations. I'd say if I expected a 1, and because of that, even if she was a 2, that's 100% better. But she was better than a 2. She was like an 8. She carried her own weight and shit.
I was gonna say like a 5, but
no, she was good. I mean, that was her first that was her first shot. And she's always been good at the in Wadapalooza. Like, she's always ready. Like, I just like, with no warning, I'm like, Heidi, hi.
She always has something to say, which is really impressive.
Yeah. %. Oh, you think that's why people watch? They're just hoping for like a Heidi's. They're gonna catch the show where Heidi makes her yearly appearance. Yeah, she is a force. I agree. She's a force to reckon with. All right. I will see you guys tonight at 6 p.m. with Aaron Ginn, and we'll talk about growth hacking and all sorts of stuff. He was one of the first people ever to, I think in early 2020, to write an article on Medium being like, what the fuck is going on with this virus? There's no data to show that it's as dangerous as people are saying. I think it got over 3 million reads on Medium in the first 24 hours, and then it was pulled down and censored. And I was actually introduced to him through by Greg. So bam, there's that. Okay, later, homies. Later, Jethro. We will see you guys this evening.